the AMSYS modular and web-based Life Cycle Management LCM Client is the optimal solution for an automated, digitized, and transparent design of your reactive, proactive, or even strategic obsolescence management and life cycle management process. The Life Cycle Management Client framework comprises 3 modules, which can either operate as a combined solution, but also as separate applications, all fully customizable and in accordance with your individual requirement. Let's start off with the first module, the OM Obsolescence Management module, that individually maps your process pursuant to the latest version of the IEC 62402 Obsolescence Management Standard. It automates the management of all your obsolescence cases in an automated workflow and task management framework. You can determine the effects of discontinuations on your products and facilitate full traceability of all actions taken. The second module, the CM Change Management module, facilitates complete and digital management of changes to your configuration. You can easily identify effects of changes and integrate all persons involved to find the optimal solution. With this module, you can even send out standardized customer notifications along your supply chain. The third module, the RM, Risk Management module, enables you to present overall risks based on international standards through a live aggregation of likelihoods of obsolescence occurrences at component level which have an impact on your product. Solutions are linked automatically. You can manage proactively against economic and technical risks using this module with risk mitigation or risk prevention strategies. Same as with the other modules. Also, the risk management module can be connected to databases and can be customized for you, so that you are able to do a full proper risk analysis on your products and aggregate management reports. Each and every lifecycle management client framework can be provided to you on an AMSYS dedicated software as a service server, or either be hosted on an own server in your own environment behind your own firewall. Every LCM client comes with an input mask, so you can integrate your manufacturers and suppliers throughout the whole supply chain by either reading international PCNs, product change notifications, and PDNs, product discontinuance notices, in accordance to the Smart PCN standard or the VDM 24903 standard, by either manually entry or automatically input all this information into your own lifecycle management client. One of the major advantages is that we have integrated SiliconExpert technologies data via an API in our lifecycle management client framework. So what you get on component level is current obsolescence statuses, obsolescence forecasts, pricing information, and current stock levels, environmental information, or even possible replacements to obsolete components, right fed from SiliconExpert into the lifecycle management client. On the other hand, we do also integrate existing systems that you're already using, like your own ERP or PLM solutions, so that you can automatically import complete structured bill of materials, multi-level bill of materials, or export information from the lifecycle management client into your own systems. We do also integrate internal informations like your personal knowledge, attachments, documentations, or feedbacks from your colleagues into all different modules. The newest information and latest information can always be found on our website am-sys.com/software/lifecycle management client. Right now, I will just move straight forward into the application itself, and I will start off with our risk management module. In advance, I have uploaded an example bill of material into the risk management module. My example bill of material, I just called it a control unit, consists out of different sub-assemblies, while these sub-assemblies again consist out of different parts and items. So while using the LCM Client risk management module, you always have to imagine that your screen is divided into half, so to say, while on the left side of the screen you always have your structured information of one multiple level bill of materials, and we aggregate information on the other right part of the screen. So you may ask yourself right now, why is my AMSYS imaginary control unit obsolete today and also obsolete as forecasted for the next 2, 4, 6, or 8 years? It is because we do aggregate information along your whole baseline. So my AMSYS control unit is obsolete because there is at least one item in there that is obsolete as well. Let's take this bill of material here, and this bill of material is obsolete because there is a minimum one item that is already obsolete. So we do aggregate the statuses and the current statuses and also the forecasts along your whole bill of material. It kind of changes once it comes to possible alternatives that you do already have in your configuration. Let's take this custom part number 1103 as an example. This item is still active, although there is already obsolete items in there. However, in my example here, I still have 2 valid items that are active. So the aggregation, where we usually take the worst status of the configuration, changes here once it comes to possible alternatives in your configuration. So this is the instance where we take the best status. Same aggregation of information in the lifecycle management client not only applies to current obsolescence statuses, but also for environmental information, as for example ROHS information, where we do also aggregate if you're conformant to this legislations or not, and to which version. In addition, also taking into account environmental legislation, the aggregation is also be used for REACH information, as shown here, whilst the worst status is aggregated except when it comes to possible alternatives, as I've already explained to you. Now you might ask yourself, where is this information coming from? This information comes from the SiliconExpert database, as already explained, completely integrated into the lifecycle management client framework. When uploading initially a bill of material, it may happen and it will most likely happen, that items are automatically linked with the SiliconExpert database based on a manufacturer part number, manufacturer combination. As for example here, we have our matching dialog where I can easily see what I've uploaded into the system and what my current match is. However, in the instance where my manufacturer part number, for example, is not automatically linked, I can just use the search bar here in the matching dialog, just type in a different part number to have the information out of the database automatically linked via the API that we're using. So you get a complete list of results to your search, always right at your fingertips, to connect your own information in the Lifecycle Management Client with the best information available from the SiliconExpert database. So if this would be technically correct here, and it's not obviously, I could easily just select an item here to have it linked, and all the information would just float in to my Lifecycle Management Client. As in my tree view, I want to show you some more information that you see here. So usually before you do a full proper risk analysis and assessment to your configuration, you want to decide if an item needs to be managed proactively or not. As for example, this one here, I intentionally decided not to have it managed proactively. This is some information that we usually also have uploaded in advance from existing ERP or PLM systems, or that can either also be set manually. Furthermore, if there is an obsolete component, you might ask yourself, where is it built in? So we have this information readily available on your fingertips as well. So you just click on this icon here, and I see just right away that this custom part number or this item is not only built into one structure, but two. And you can have a look at it, vice versa, and so on throughout your whole multiple level BOMs. For sure, the tree view is not always the view that is of your major interest. So especially when it comes to data cleaning and so on, you want to see all your items in your configuration as a list view. So we have that available as well. So in this instance, I want to see all my NXP items, that is only one, or on semi items, on semi. So we have filters and so on available. And you get all the information on a much more detailed level as well. You just simply click on this item, for example, where you want to see additional information that comes from the SiliconExpert database. So once I'm in there, besides that I see a nice picture of the item, I see in the section Client Data what I've originally imported into the system. I can switch to the matching results, where I have the clean manufacturer part number and some additional information. I see all the obsolescence data. In this instance, this component is still currently active in a life cycle status that is mature. It was introduced to the market in 2001 and is forecasted to be obsoleted in 2025. So there is still 4.7 years left. That gives me a likelihood of being medium. If there already would be a PCN or PDN out there, I could just simply click on it and open it. So why is there the obsolescence likely at medium? As our system is in conformance with the latest version of the IEC 62402 that is stating that the likelihood of an item becoming obsolete is high if it is already obsolete, or is likely to become obsolete within the 2 years, there the likelihood would be high. Between 2 and a 5-year forecast, in this instant 4.7, the likelihood is medium. And the likelihood is going to be low if an item is forecasted to be obsoleted only in 5 years from now. Any additional information you have right there in your own system as well that comes from the SiliconExpert database, like the EU row status. I can easily just click on the conformity certificate that was just downloaded here. I will just not open it. I can see if it's REACH affected, this item. If there is a substance in there, it would show here. If it's conflict mineral free, I see some technical information like min and max temperature, packages, country of origin, etc. Plus, open the data sheet if I really want to see it. In this instance, gets even more of an interest if it comes to crosses and replacements that I can easily click here. So this is live request, so there is still possible alternatives that are also still active for this item here. Works the same way, not only for active components, but for sure also for obsolete components. So I will just pick that one here that is already obsolete. I just go into the part details from my table view right now, and we'll have a look if there is possible alternatives to this obsolete component. Good news is there is. I could easily filter and have a look at that. I even get the differences stated to my original component. So everything that you need to do proper obsolescence management right at your fingertips. Going back to the tree view in this instance here, I can go to the much more detailed information from the tree view as well, just clicking on the much more information button here. So as I've just said everything at your fingertips for proper obsolescence management. But what does risk mean? So let me just quickly explain. 3 more views I've not walked you through yet. So how do we do risk assessment? Risk assessments are usually always a combination of likelihoods, in this instance, likelihoods of an item becoming obsolete, in combination with an impact on your company. So the likelihood, as it's stated in the latest version of the IEC 62442, can be low, medium, or high. I've just explained that, based on forecasts of an item becoming obsolete. The question is, what is the impact to you? Because let's be honest, there might be obsolete components that have a high likelihood but not having a high impact to your company or to your system, meaning it's only medium risk. And this is exactly what we do here, all other instances in our system as well. So I'm just going back into the client. So the obsolescence likelihood is derived in this example from the forecast of an item becoming obsolete or not. But only in combination of an impact, you can determine the overall risk to your system. In my example demo application here, I have chosen to give different impacts to different items based on what category of item they belong to. For example, passive electrical or electronic items have a low impact on me because I can easily exchange that or these items from an engineering perspective, whilst active electronics have a medium impact on me, and everything that includes software or firmware is having a high impact. This is where we usually customize the systems to our individual customers, because it can also be driven on what is your current stock level, what is your demand, do I have alternative components, yes or no, what is mean time between failure of a specific item in my system, and so on and so on. And only the combination of likelihood and impact in this instance will give me the overall risk on each and every component in my system. So As an example here, I have a high risk because the likelihood is high that this item will become obsolete, and the impact is high as well. But in this instance here from this oscillator, the likelihood is high because we have just seen it is already obsolete. And I've just stated, okay, the impact is low for me. It's only giving me a medium risk level. Once you have all your items in your configuration, you might not be interested on really clicking back and forth through all the information along your multiple level bill of materials, because you have all the data already included in the system. So you might only ask yourself at a certain point in time, what changed since yesterday? So what we have made available in the AMSYS Life Cycle Management Client is that you have all the alerts, what changed since yesterday, in a specific view as well. There can also be an email server behind it that is giving you specific information. So I just want to see now all the items that change from unconfirmed, in my example, to obsolete on specific dates and so on. And I want to know when or where this item is used as well. I have the where used here as well, where used view here as well, where it's built in. And this is where proactive obsolescence management starts. So let me move over now to the case management. There's one column we haven't talked about yet much, not at all to be honest. The create case column that I see here in my alert view, where I can just simply filter to specific alerts, but I do see the same column in all my tree views that I've talked in advance, and also table views as well. So this is how easy it is to open cases and move from the risk management module to the obsolescence management module. I will just take this one here as an example now. I just click on the create case button. The system aggregates all the information that is available in the system already. It opened a case number, completely automated. Now with my obsolescence management case 28, because there's 27 cases already in my demo system, I'll just give it a simple title. I can configure the system as I want to. I have configured it that I have to type in specific mandatory fields as the title, as also the priority. I'm giving it a priority high here right now. I see different sections here on my master data. I can simply click when was the date of publication, which item is concerned. It gets it out of my configuration, give additional information to the case that I need to properly manage my colleagues that might be also in the case. It's a discontinuance notice, as it was just an alert, a PDN. I can add some time information. It's already available here because I got it out of my alerts. Some priority and control data. So when I want the case to be closed, for example, in 2021, the 18th of November, this is just giving you an example. We could also integrate some additional information from your existing ERP or PLM system, as I've stated in the early beginning. What's your current stock level? What's your consumption rate? And how long does your stock actually last? Involved personnel to the case, who is responsible, can type in names, email addresses, engineering names, material planner names, and so on and so on. As I've typed in already all the mandatory fields, I'm now finally able to, if I wouldn't type in the mandatory fields, I would not be able to save the case and start my internal workflow, but as I will now type in test case title again, I'm able to start the case and start my internal proactive workflow. We have made it simple in this demo version. This test case is now following my internal process. We made it pretty easy. We have 3 different process steps. In this example here, my case can be in the status of being a draft case, in progress, so whilst I'm finding a solution to my problems, or a closed case. So I will not move on with this specific case here because I've already prepared better cases to show you the capabilities of the obsolescence management module. Being now in the obsolescence management module, first thing that I see is the thread view of all the cases that do exist in my company. I can also have it shown in a kind of table view. It depends on personal preferences. If I want to have it more like a thread view or Excel-like spreadsheet view here, whilst the due dates of my cases are colored more in a red color when I'm over due dates and still highlighted in green when there's still some more time left until a case is due to be closed with the priority and so on. We usually customize that to individual preferences of our clients anyhow. I can also have the table sorted and select, but I will move back to the thread view where I have predefined filters available. For example, the one here, show me my own cases that have been registered by my user with the name demo Bjorn and so on. I would just delete the filter again to see all my cases. So one of the cases that I've prepared for this demo here is this one that also has a nice case profile picture. So I'm clicking on it, I'm getting into the case, see all my information again that I've originally entered as master data, the item that is concerned by my case, in this instance by this manufacturer part number and so on. I see the timely information, was the start of production, and also most likely also an end of production date and so on. I see the involved personnel in the case, not in this instance, so I'm just going to enter some involved personnel now as my dear colleague George, and with this email I could enter here with the buyer, her name is Catherine, and so on. Usually all the emails and email addresses are taken. Then if I save that, my colleagues would get automated emails and so on. I can also see the impacts this case has on different systems of my company. So this demo case is only having one impact on one bill of material that is built into my control unit. What is really important but to cases is that we give individuals the possibility to comment on specific cases. So I will just type in test here, test comment there, comment in singular, save it, and everyone who is involved in this case as an individual would now also automatically be informed by email that I've just added an additional comment to the case. To my comments, as this is a test comment, I can also upload individual attachments. For example, I will just upload an offer here to that specific case that I can easily open now. I can give it specific tags so like I can find it later in my search function and so on. Everything included in my obsolescence management module. A complete list of comments would be also then shown here with all the history, what has ever been done to the case, completely tracked and traced in the case as well. So during your process from a draft case to a case that is in progress, while an obsolescence case cannot be solved by one individual, does usually involve that you give tasks to specific people and individuals in your company. So I will just click task now. I will give my dear friend Vern a task now that I want to have him done by, and I'll give him some time actually. I only want to have him done the case by 2023. Give him the task, please. Evaluate whatever he needs to evaluate now. What happens now once I give Vern the task, whilst all the tasks are also here now. Oh, I already have given him a task now, or before that he should take a look and so on. He would get an individual email as well, including the URL that you can see here, that he could just click on now and finalize his task. Good thing is that I have also given my own user tasks already that I do see in my tasks list for different cases and different things I need to do. So I just go to my task list now. I see I have 4 open tasks, whilst 1 is already completed for my case number 25 here. So in this, for this example, I will just jump into this task where someone wants me to give that individual a feedback. So I just jump into that specific case, have a look on the master data. Wow, it's the same case again. Have all the information here, scroll down to my specific task, what I hopefully will find here somewhere, because it's overdue already. I should have done this beforehand. Here, please give me feedback. It's here. So I just finish my task. Once I finish the task, it turns green as well. So I've given him a feedback. My dear colleague here, I will give a little comment here. Here is my feedback. And the one who gave me the task will now get a feedback as well via email, plus also everything that is happening in the client will also be in the notification center, everything in one application. So the whole obsolescence management module is usually completely individualized. For sure, as a process consultancy, we have seen specific process steps in each and every company from whatever verticals they're from, being it from aerospace and defense, transportation, industry, medical, automotive, and so on. That is kind of the same, but however, each and every company is usually following their own processes that we individualize in the obsolescence management module. One of the major advantages is that we bring a lot of capabilities already in our standard framework, like specific user rights, case management capabilities, the risk management for sure as well, specific filters and everything. So it's so easy and fastly done to individualize this standard framework to your needs. 2 more things I want to show you before I end the demonstration here. One thing is that we also integrated kind of what you know from social media as LinkedIn, Facebook and so on. You see the star here, so you can follow cases where you're not a responsible person, nor that you have a task to find a good solution. So you can favorite cases. What happens usually then is, once you favorite a case, is that you get notified once something changes. The case of, well, being it the master data or an additional comment is added or whatsoever. I can also defavorite my case here as well. So you get notified by email and also in your notification center when whatever colleague is adding additional information to that case. Plus, last but not least, in the end, in an overall perspective from obsolescence management, being it reactive or proactive, some management might want specific information in terms of graphs and management reports. And I'm going to show you that right now. So once you go to our chart feature that can be completely individualized as well, you can have some charts here, like how many cases are open per vehicle or assembly, what is the current status of different cases, how many new cases in which status have been entered into the client over the last 12 months. That's the usual standard view, and so on, being it in draft, in progress, or closed. How many cases are there per department? What was the solution? What was the actual money involved to solve specific cases? Or what was the money saved? Being proactive in this approach. So hopefully I was able to give you now a nice overview of the capabilities of the Lifecycle Management Client, mainly focusing on the risk management module and the obsolescence management module. Next time I'm going to show you the change management module, where you track all the changes in your configuration once you have been able to solve specific obsolescence cases and so on. Before I end, I also want to let you know that the AMSYS Life Cycle Management Client is not only available in English, but also with the German interface. And we have just been able to successfully deploy also Dutch version. So whatever language you might need, we will make it happen. Coming back to my initial framework picture, use our AMSYS LCM Client framework to completely automate and digitize your overall obsolescence and lifecycle management approaches, and make it your own framework inside your company. If you have additional requirements for customization, require a trial version or whatsoever, we are always there. So please talk to us from AMSYS, not only being the developer and hoster of the Lifecycle Management Client, but also the Obsolescence Management Exchange Portal, being an endorsed trainer of the International Institute of Obsolescence Management, and a business partner of the Component Obsolescence Management Group Germany. Thanks a lot.